Here's our awesome aerial photograph of the track just before the Nationals. You can see where the rain's been lying around. We've got our start there, which has got a dirt base. Then we go downhill into a right-hand corner. And Horsham is the home track of the Cadgex.net podcast. So we've done a few laps around here. Not very fast ones. I dare say my cursor would be very, probably the similar speed of how I go around Horsham. So we do have our pit board area on our right, and then into a little jump, and then into a section that I can't do because the jumps are pretty big, and that's a roller section. I can do a little tabletop at the end. And then if you get this section right here and through this corner, you can actually carry your momentum all the way through to the stutters on the other end. So obviously this is a big jump. I can do it a little bit at the top, but my favourite line for the next corner is sort of in the middle. And yeah, just lean her over, throttle on, away you go. And this section here can get really rough. It's just unreal. It's awesome. Braking bumps, acceleration bumps. And then we come into this corner, which I seem to make some errors on every time. Maybe because it's just this big step down right here, which I can't clear, or I'm not very good at jumps. But anyway, that scares me a little bit. But you can carry your momentum all the way through and just grip your knees up this little bit of a hill here. And I'd love to make some changes there. Love to make that like a dual carriageway type thing. But yeah, I'm not the track person. Then we go into the Petcher's Leap. And to my favourite section of the track, which is you just bang it down a gear and just hold it flat, and the bike loves it. I love it. And then I get scared because there's this ski jump that comes out of the corner, and I'm not very good at jumping. So down this section here, so if you've got all that right, you've got the momentum to go through the stutters, which I don't. I know where all the bumps are. I roll every single one of them, and it's great. I love it. Then we come around into jump number 11, which I like to call the Cadgex.net tabletop, because 11's a good number. And then we go down the hill here. If you're a photographer and you can't get press pass, jump in on that corner on the fence. Awesome photos. Fantastic corner. Up into the triple up, which has been modified with a tabletop. Then we've got the last corner here. Then we've got a tabletop. And if you see the last lap, just keep fanging it over this last tabletop. Otherwise, we'll end up with a Jason Anderson incident. We don't want that. And this is a section I'd like to change. I'd like to make it sand. But none of the club agrees with me. So, but that's all right. We do love being a member of Horsham. It's absolutely fantastic. And if you can see all the water down the bottom, that's how we water our tracks. So we won't be running the little enduro motocross event this year because we need a jet ski. But that's our water to water the track. And so we've got a bit of water for a few years. So that's my take on the awesome Horsham track. Here's some images before we get into our video footage. Here's Wilson Todd, and as you can see, bit of slick, and the ruts. This is a section where I said gets really rough with the braking bumps and acceleration bumps. Bit of slosh pit, but that's Horsham clay for you. It is self-mulching clay, so it can get either slick or really, really tacky. And not tacky is good, but it's not good for your bike in some instances, as we see a little bit further as we go through these images. Off the start gate, see, the best thing is nice and clean, nice and clear. Then you've got this. Nice, slick and tacky, and that is Horsham in the wet. I think on the 19th we had 17 mil, and we had more for the weekend. But awesome times. And definitely a challenge. If you did make it around the circuit, hat goes off to you, because I don't think I would have. But I would have had a go if I was fit enough. But as you can see, we've got our mechanism in concrete, but the rest is dirt into our start straight with our 40 gates. And as you can see here, the bike's got a little bit hot. Working overtime in the mud. See all the mud banked up around the fork area. Stuff like that was happening and causing some riders some havoc and sending them over the bars. But that's the clay for you. By the end of the day, it was perfect. Just needed Didn't need that shower at 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember how much it was, but that didn't help things either. But we've had a lot of rain here at Horsham in the Wimmera district, and thanks to Cam and his posse track, helped some riders out there that got stuck in the mud, and a bit of a suction. Can lose a shoe out there on a track walk when it's wet, if you haven't got them done up tight enough. But definitely an awesome event around as we move into Murray Bridge. And yes, that's the red plate holder. And a very impressive day at Horsham. Fastest qualifier for the MXD was Caleb Barham. He's actually won a junior motocross championship at Horsham, followed by Wyatt Chase, Dylan Wood, Cooper Posniak, and Josh Trenderick. The lap time, best lap time was 2 minute 32. In Moto 1, it was Jai Roberts taking the victory, followed by Cooper Posniak, Wyatt Chase, Jai Constantinu, and Hugh McKay. In the second moto was Cody Dice that got out in front with a 2 minute 16 lap time, so as the track dried out it got faster, followed by Jai Roberts, Caleb Barham, Hugh McKay and Sam Pells. Overall for the round at Horsham we have Jai Roberts followed by Cody Dice, Hugh McKay, Cooper Posniak, Brody Ellis, Jai Constantinu, Sam Pells, Jake Williams in 8th, Isaac Ferguson in 9th, Morgan Fogarty 10th, followed by Jai Dixon, Quinton Adams, Nicholas Lush, Caleb Barham in 14th, Wyatt Chase, Josh Tenderick in 16th, Callum Norton in 17th, Liam Walsh, Dylan Wood, Alex Watt, Lachlan Torpy, Bailey Coolin, Kane Fisher, Chandler Burns, Dylan Wakashuk, Billy Middleton, Riley Stevens, Jackson Murphy, Jake West, Mackenzie O'Brien rounds out your top 30, and 31st was Jed Palumka. In the MX2, it was Wilson Todd that claimed the fastest qualifying time of 2 minutes 10, followed by Hamish Harwood, Dylan Wills, Egan Masterson and Kyle Webster. In the opening moto, it was Wilson Todd that got out in front, followed by Hamish Harwood, Kyle Webster, Mitchell Evans, Ricky Latimer. In Moto 2, it was Wilson Todd that took the double, followed by Hamish Harwood, Ricky Latimer, Kyle Webster, Jackson Richardson in 5th. Overall for the round at Horsham, we have Wilson Todd, followed by Hamish Harwood, Kyle Webster, Ricky Latimer, Mitchell Evans, Dylan Wills, Jackson Richardson, Egan Masterson, Aaron Tanti and Thomas Ravenhorse rounds out your top 10, followed by James Brown, Darren Sheik, Lachlan Wilson, Jaden Rikers, Richie Evans, Joel Evans, Lockie Latimer, Robin Sheembin, Carl Caldridge, Caleb Best rounds out your top 20, followed by Jaden Confroto, Jessica McNally, Brandon Gray, Kyle Wilkinson, Stephen Corp, Darcy Kavanagh, Tristan Owen, Cohen Chase and Levi McManus.
Couple of superstars in the Australian motocross. Of course, Craig Anderson always joining us in the commentary booth, and Brett Metcalf. Now, we're just talking down here about Horsham. Funnest thing out here, probably a mud angel at this point. Matty, not out here this weekend, but taking a look at the track. Thoughts?
Like I said, Ando, I'm happy. I'm happy I'm kind of not out there today. Always bitter, when you're not out there racing and, you're supposed to be racing. So, yeah, but, when I came here this weekend just to watch, support the event. Of course, it's not far from my home, so it just came to support, really. And happy I'm not really having to, slide around out there today.
Now, we're talking about the track as brutal, Craig Anderson, Medi. We're all just comparing nationals that have gone past in the years, gone past Penguin, Toowoomba. You know, we've seen Horsham muddy before. This is up there with the muddiest tracks we've ever seen.
It is. It's tough, and the worst thing is it's starting to get dry up, and that clay is starting to get sticky, and it sticks to everything. Your boots get heavy, your helmet gets heavy, everything becomes harder, and then trying to find the new lines, and then trying to find the way around without crashing and getting good results is tough. And like Matty said, you know, we don't wish it was out there right now.
So no chance of the 500 out here at lunchtime?
No, definitely not. I think I'm great. I'm good to watch today. Maybe if we can grade it tonight and I'll ride tomorrow, but that's it.
You're going to need a serious grader. Now, Matty, we just did speak about briefly there as it starts to dry out. Now, you'd think a mud track would be better if it starts to dry out. These ruts, though, crossing left and right, what's going to happen to the bike as we dry out?
It's just, like Ando said, it's just this dirt's so heavy, compressed all the time. And when it's compressed, it's really hard to steer. And then there's just, as you can see behind us, there's ruts everywhere. Nothing is a straight line. It's just left and right. So guys out, the base is slippery here. At Horsham, it's a really hard packed base, so it's slick underneath. You got thick, heavy mud on top. Really, I mean, I just don't think it's going to be good all day right now. I think it's going to come down to a good start for these guys coming up in the next moto. You know, and like Ando said, trying to race on this track is technical. But yeah, we got to, you know, get it done.
All right, well, MX1's up on the field. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit down, strap in. As the track's drying out, the action's going to be hot.
In the MX1, it was Kirk Gibbs, followed by Dean Ferris, Cade Mosick, Todd Waters and Alexander Tonkoff for your top 5 qualifying. For Super Pole, it was Todd Waters that claimed the extra points, followed by Dean Ferris, Cade Mosick, Kirk Gibbs and Alexander Tonkoff, who was on a heater that dropped it and unfortunately didn't clock the best time. In the MX1 Moto 1, it was Dean Ferris, followed by Luke Clout, Luke Stike, Cade Mosick, Kirk Gibbs. In the MX1 Moto 2 race, it was Dean Ferris, followed by Kirk Gibbs, Todd Waters, Luke Clout and Kyle Peters. Unfortunately, Luke Clout suffered a malfunction and did not finish the race as he was tussling with Kirk Gibbs for second place. Round overall, Dean Ferris takes another round victory, winning both motos, followed by Kirk Gibbs, Luke Stike, Todd Waters and Cade Mosick are your top 5. Kyle Peters and then Hamish Harwood. What an awesome story that is. He's riding 2 classes and he podiumed this weekend in the MX2 class, and then he has a 7th overall in the MX1 on 2 different machines. So awesome job for Hamish Harwood. Followed by Alexander Tonkoff, Lachlan Davis and Kieran Hall round out your top 10. Then there's Joel Green, Joel Reitman, Brody Sims, James Allen, Corey Watts in 15th, Luke Clout. He'll be very, very hungry for Murray Bridge in 16th overall for Horsham, followed by Isaac Mule, Oliver James, Thomas Hill, Zach Small in 20th, Charlie Creech in 21st, Eddie Brown, Nathan Crawford and Angus Jelly concludes your MX1 class for Horsham.
Just got the CDR boys getting around. A very, very pumped up Dean Ferris. Dino, I'll just grab you quickly here. You put that big number 1 machine up there again. You got off to the flying start. What a jump out of that inside.
Yeah, I got really good traction. Heaps of grip behind the gates, and it was really important to get the whole shot. And we didn't do sight laps, so I had to take it a bit easy on the first few laps, and I pulled out a bit of a lead. But already on the 3rd lap, I got stuck behind some lappers, and I'm not sure who closed in on me. Maybe Todd. And
actually, Cloudy.
It was Cloud. Yeah, he got real close, and then pulled out the gap to a pretty big lead in the end.
Now, we saw in the first 2 motors, Pirelli MXT, obviously Model MX2, it was very, very wet, very, very sloppy. That sun's coming out. It's starting to bake out a bit now.
Yeah, I mean, second moto is going to be better for sure. That one was tough, The main line was okay, but you're still picking up heaps of mud on the pegs, and it was just a challenge to keep all the weight off your boots. I was trying to scrape it in the pegs in the air and stuff. A few little tricks. But yeah, hopefully it bakes out a little bit so we can have some better racing in the second one.
Congratulations, Dino, another P1.
Yeah, thank you. Huge thanks to CDR Yamaha.
Cloudy, we're just going to grab you over here for a quick interview. She's been a tough start to the season for you. You've got up there, P2. That's got to be feeling good in the toughest conditions we've seen all year.
Yeah, definitely. Me and the team have been working our butts off, and I've been training my ass off, and the results have been so-so. I've always thought they'd be better, and I know it is a mud race, but still to be second, and then actually challenge for the lead there for a bit. That's right where I belong, and I think I just need that bit of confidence. But yeah, we got one more moto, but I'm just gonna really let this sink in because second in my first season on a 450, I'm pretty pumped.
And not just second, but you sort of did something in that moto, midway through that moto, that we haven't seen anybody do yet. Catching Dean Ferris, that's got to be a big confidence booster.
Yeah, definitely. I got in a second pretty early, and I just tried to do some smooth laps to try and get a gap. And halfway through, I was catching Dean, and I tried to make a few moves. I tried to go around the outside, but I didn't want to put it down. So Dean was riding really good, and I didn't want to kind of jeopardise that second. So I just kind of settled, and then Dean picked the pace up anyway. But it was good for me to learn and kind of see what he's doing.
Tough track out there. I think it's going to form up better for that second one.
Oh, I think it's definitely formed a lot better from practice to now, but it's just going to be gnarly. So this next 30-minute moto is just going to be tough. But just regroup, get another good start, and just try to do the same thing.
Congratulations, Cody. We'll see you on the box in the second one. Cheers. And we'll go over to another man who, as I'm sure, is pumped up. Stokesy, we'll just grab you over here. She's a very, very tough day at the office out there, but you've gone out and put it up here on the box. How you feeling?
It was tough. The start helped. Me and Cloudy just came around the turn pretty well side by side, and he just had the inside on me. The KTM was working up beautiful out there, and the start definitely helped in that motor. But yeah, it was definitely tough out there, but I'm not taking anything for granted. I've got to back it up for the next one, and hopefully I get another top 3 in the next one, and walk away smiling.
And we're seeing the riders, the top guys, they're coming through the lap riders fairly early on. There's that one dominant line, and not only can the lap riders not get out of the way, they're stuck in that same rut. Is that something you're finding troubles with?
It is. You just got to barge your way around, and it is a bit risky changing your line, and it is a bit frustrating. But everyone's got to do the same thing, and they're in their own battles and they're trying to race their own races. But it's definitely tough conditions out there for everyone. But we're battling through it, and it's going to be a tough day.
Tough day at the office, but that 26, good to see it on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, and Wilson Todd's taken out the first of the Model MX2 here at round 4. You're just saying those ruts out there, they're killer on the knees, the whole track. How brutal is it?
Yeah, it's mad, like, I got out there and washed the front in turn 1, some boys got by, and, I just wanted to be out front so I'd have some clean goggles, but, just ended up getting around. Aaron Henty crashed in front of me and I thought I was going to go down. I just enduro style log top this bike and pushing it down, but ended up pulling it off and just tried to circulate and not fall off.
Now, when you got conditions out here like this, is it pretty much just survive, just get around the track?
Yeah, pretty much. Like if you have one tip over, all your gloves are ruined. Your bike's heavy, you're full of mud, and then it just goes all downhill from there. So, like, my main plan was just to stay on it.
Now, obviously, there's been a lot of bikes stopping this one, a lot of mud packing up into the radios, a lot of overheating. The old DPH Yamaha, no problems. There's some people you want to thank for the moto win.
Yeah, that's it. You can't really help it, but yeah, the boys done a good job of packing some foam into this thing, and we got it to the end, which is good. Got one more to go, and that's the main. Got to do it one more time.
All right, well, survival mode out here, Wilson Todd. You've taken a bit more points out of your championship. You've got to be feeling happy.
Yeah, of course, that's the main goal.
All right.
The support class for Horsham was the Rising Star Rookie, so your 254 strokes. An introduction to what we're going to see at the Junior Aussies later in the year. Our top qualifier was Regan Duffy, followed by John Bova, Bailey Malkowitz, Reese Budd and Hayden Masterson. In the opening moto, it was Regan Duffy, followed by Bailey Malkowitz, Reese Budd, John Bova and Hayden Masterson. In Moto 2, it was Bailey Malkowitz, followed by Mason Simmons, John Bova, Regan Duffy and Jack Kukas. Overall for the round, it was Bailey Malkowitz, followed by Regan Duffy. Now these two have been going for it all season so far. It's going to make the Aussies very interesting. Followed by John Bova, Reese Budd and Hayden Masterson round out your top 5. Jack Kukas in 6th, Callum McGlade, Tyler Darby, Connor McNamara, followed by Liam Andrews in your top 10. Levi Rogers, Joel Ciliano, Noah Code, Mason Simmons, Royce Arnell, Deacon Heller, Oscar Maggi, Levi Lane, Dante Ham, Caleb Clifton round out your top 20, followed by Thornton Burrow, Mason Rowe, Joshua Lee, Joshua Zorbas, James Davison and Michael Murphy.